Oh, now he's got it. I recognise that sound.
Right. This will more than likely be on an outtake, as we've not started yet, and we've been attempting to do this
About 4 hours.
about
Getting the curtains sorted out and the pictures and
quite a few times.
and then Dale not knowing
No.
which was pictures and which was
No,
video. But
yeah,
aside from that,
yeah,
it's been going
exactly. So this is what happens. People don't realise.
There's a lot of technical
Yes,
stuff
when
involved in
you
making
come
a
and
film.
exactly, and especially when you're doing something with Alan and my other half,
Excuse
it
me.
becomes an absolute nightmare.
I like him actually. I think he's right up my street. This sort of kibbutz, it's great.
Anyway,
Hello, Dale. How you doing?
the whole idea of us being here, me being here, is very different to Alan's, mind you. And I did say that at the end of our interview that I would be here again with Alan in Stratford, and I will be monitoring his progress throughout.
You did say that.
I did.
Yeah.
And I am. So we are here today, and we are going to delve a little bit deeper into what Alan is actually here for, and how he's getting on. And obviously on my video, we covered so much on that about obviously Shakespeare Decoded and everything else. And at the end, Alan obviously announced, which was an exclusive, that he was going to be here for an amount of time within the church, aiming to do something quite spectacular. So let us find out where you are. You've been here a week now.
We're in Stratford-upon-Avon, birthplace of Shakespeare. Just up the road is the church, Holy Trinity Church, where the burial is. There's a gravestone and a monument and an altar in the background. And if you've been following at all my work for the past 20 years, you know it's coming up on 20 years, that there's a mystery about Shakespeare, etc., etc. Don't need to go into that. What am I doing here? I came here because 13 years ago I radar scanned the altar, which is a very naughty thing to do.
Yes.
It's a very naughty boy. But I had to, because the codes literally say that. They say, I've left something in the altar stone. I want you to know. You can't get around it. I'll give the actual quote in detail later, but essentially that is saying something in the altar stone. And of course, without actual proof, meaning get into the altar stone, how are you going to do that?
Yes.
Right? It's protected by CCTV cameras, it's protected by a forensic system that sprays you with a chemical if you get too near. There's a sign outside.
Has that all been done since you obviously did what you did?
No, that was the sign before I did what I did.
Really?
Yeah. Interestingly, now they've taken that sign down and it's not there. So I think they've sort of softened the public persona of it a bit, but I can't say for sure on that. But the sign is no longer there. But the point is, 13 years ago I came here, put on a show, scanned the altar behind a banner so that no one could see what we were doing. But I had to, because if I had not proven the code's accurate, then I'm just another nutcase who's just saying, oh, the codes say this.
Yes.
You've got to be able to back it up with physical proof, and in 400 years, no one ever has. There's never, ever been any physical proof that you can point to and say, oh, the answer might be here. Let's have a look.
Yes.
You know? So that's why I did it. I didn't feel great about it at the time, but I knew I had no choice. Otherwise, just saying, oh, the codes say this, if you've got time to look at it and invest in watching my presentation for half an hour, 45 minutes, you go, oh yeah, that's what it says. But without that, there's no, it's not going to stick. So I had to get the proof. I've got the proof. You can look online at my tobeornottobe.org website, see the pictures. So we're 13 years later now, and it's obviously not, there's no movement in terms of the church deciding to open the altar, because they're not under any pressure to do so from the public. So I got the memo, I like to describe it that way, but I got the intuition about 3 months ago that I should come here and literally pray in the church for as many hours a day as I can manage for 10 weeks.
Right.
So I'm here every day praying. So far, I've been able to do 2 hours, 3 hours, one time about 4 hours. I'm hoping to work up to do that much every single day. But the point is the power of prayer. It's a real thing, and if you can really put all that energy out and let it absorb into the surroundings, if you know how to pray, and I don't mean to set myself up as saying I'm some great prayer, but having meditated for 45 years, doing a very strong technique of Kriya Yoga, you can focus your mind, you can reach a deeper state of consciousness, and in that state, then you can channel that. We were joking earlier about I don't channel, but you can channel it, you can send it, you can focus it. It's powerful.
Most definitely.
And everybody attests, as most people understand, whether they're even religious or not. You can call it praying, you can call it just manifesting, but you can affect your environment by your thoughts. So I just realized, okay, I'm going to come here and I am going to pray Shakespeare's Last Wish, because it is literally that, the codes he has embedded in the works, in the gravestone, in the monument, and in the silence dedication, show that he's saying, I really want the world to know the truth behind my story and why there was a cover-up, right? The cover-up is there's no manuscript. No one ever saw him. He never wrote a letter to anybody. He never traveled anywhere. Yet half the plays are set in Europe. All that thing. There's something going on with the mystery. So anyway, I'm here. I arrived the day before the big celebrations for Shakespeare's birthday. So, and I put it in quotes only because it's we don't even know what his birthday is, but the world knows it as April 23rd as being Shakespeare's birthday. That happens to be St. George's Day. And St. George's Day is the biggest holiday in England besides Christmas, because it celebrates the slaying of the dragon. And as we were just saying earlier, there's a metaphor, a deep metaphor in that. What does it ultimately mean? It means the dragon is this delusion of life on earth, and all the fear and the anguish and the danger and all of that. It's all an illusion. St. George slaying that dragon is just a metaphor of getting rid of the delusion of life on earth. Maya, the Vedic teachings call it. Once you get rid of that, get rid of the idea of Maya, that this is all an illusion, then you're back into unity consciousness. You realize, yeah, there really is only one. And so that's the birthday. I got here at that time and I started praying at the church, and it's been really wonderful. I've had a lot of really extraordinary experiences have happened already, which I'd love to share.
Yeah, I would love to hear as well.
So obviously it's not unusual to be, they can't sort of say, what are you doing here? Oh, this is a church. What are you doing? Praying? I mean, I'm here praying. So no one's going to say you can't do that, but still.
So in other words, you've not been thrown out yet.
I have not been thrown out yet. And they're lovely people, to be honest. I mean, really, truly, it's given me a whole new perspective. people who are running this church, they're just running a church. They're just trying to do their best to draw people to their own belief system. It's fine, and it's actually beautiful. I've been showing up for morning prayers every single day, which is only just the reverend and a couple of lay ministers, like 4 or 5 of us in the morning, do morning prayer, and then I go and sit by the altar and I sit and pray there for an hour or 2 or a little longer. I'm inviting everybody to join me in the sense that obviously people can't necessarily always come here physically, although you came here today and hopefully we're going to go to the church in a bit and have a bit of a time to pray.
Yes.
And focus our energy on what we want the goal to be, to draw attention to what is in that altar stone and to what Shakespeare's last wish was. But some people will come. Others, though, imagine, you can be praying online. My daughter is running a part of this whole vigil where she's contacting prayer vigil organizations all over the world. And it surprised me. You can just Google prayer vigil, and there's just tens of thousands of people who want to pray for a cause and are saying, yeah, I can give a half an hour here, or I can do an hour here.
Wow, amazing.
So to focus that energy towards this and say, well, this is the particular vigil that I'm doing, is to get about the truth about Shakespeare. Would you please join me? Online.
Yes.
Right. And then they can send in their results to my daughter, Alana, and say, hey, I did a half an hour here, and I did an hour, and I did whatever. It's going to add up. It's going to add up into far more than I could possibly do individually.
Yes.
I can do 3 or 4 hours a day. But ultimately, imagine the whole world getting excited about this story and saying, wow, I had no idea there was this mystery about Shakespeare, and oh, you want to get to the truth, and it's in the altar, and you've got proof that it's in the altar. Yeah, let's do that. So that's my purpose in being here, so that everybody can understand that's what I'm doing here. At the same time, there's 2 ancillary things that I've launched at the same time that are helping promote that. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to work again, lifelong. Since I first, you probably know that I'm a musician and that I was fortunate to be on several record labels way back. Remember when the dinosaurs went extinct? Remember that? Like, that was when it was. I was on Arista Records, and I was on ABC, and I was on blah blah blah. Who cares? It's like, okay, you wrote some pop songs. Good for you. It seems like a whole other incarnation. But at that time, on the Arista album that I was working on 46 years ago, I was working with my dear friend, James Guthrie, who is, well, at the time, he was just co-producing the album that I was doing. He was just starting his career. And he went on to become Pink Floyd's producer. He did The Wall and everything else that they did subsequent to that. And a ton of all, you can just look him up online, famous musical celebrities. So we've remained friends for all this 46 years. I called him up about a month ago, 5 weeks ago maybe. I've written a song to help the world know why I'm doing this vigil, and it incorporates all the codes and the whole story of why there's a mystery around Shakespeare. And I just on the off chance, because he's normally totally busy and he's working all out. Oh, I'm remixing the new Roger Waters thing and blah blah blah. Roger Waters was the main writer for Pink Floyd. This morning, when I called him, he said, "Oh yeah, Alan, come on up and we'll do it." So he was so gracious, and I drove up to Lake Tahoe to his studio, played piano and mellotron and harmonium and a couple of other instruments, and then James played bass and guitar, and he's produced this whole thing. He spent about 3 weeks on it altogether. If I say so myself, it's a beautiful record, and we've released it just 2 days ago. It's called Say a Prayer for Will. And Melanie will put a link somewhere on this.
I will. It is good.
And it's yes, it is.
It is good.
Yeah, thank you. But the production value is so good as well. I mean,
it is.
He's James. I mean, he does the best. He's one of the most world famous producers in the world. It's just just great stuff. So I'm really pleased about that. You can buy it for $1 on Bandcamp or whatever you want to pay for it. All the proceeds are going into the next thing that I'm launching to say about today is the Shakespeare Foundation. Ever since I started on this journey 20 years ago now, I wanted to create a foundation for the arts in the name of the true Shakespeare, whoever that ends up being.
Yes.
If it ends up being this guy from Stratford, okay, I only want the truth. If it ends up being De Vere, fine. If it ends up being Bacon, if it ends up being some combination of all the above, I'm only interested in the actual truth of what this amazing event was called Shakespeare, because it's far more than people know. So I have launched now the Shakespeare Foundation.org. There'll be another link.
Yes, I'll put the link below.
And you can go there and support this effort with whatever you feel you can give, if you can. If you can't support it monetarily, we understand. That's fine. But it would be lovely if you could, but also support it with your prayers. So those are the two prongs of what I'm doing. You can help support the foundation. You can buy the record. That will all go to the foundation. Or you can pray online with me, and there'll be a link for that as well.
Yes.
So imagine the power.
Huge.
Right? Imagine that just focused attention on a particular goal that is noble, that is right, that is really beautiful. It's going to bring about, I hope, the truth of what is inside that altar. So that's what I'm doing here.
So are you prepared to tell me about the synchronicities that you've experienced already?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, I've been here 2 days. I was in my second day of praying. So I'm getting as close to the altar as I can. It's even the church is embarrassed about this. You come into a church and you expect to be able to just come in, right? And you can come into the main body of the church, but to go into the chancel where Shakespeare's grave is, and his monument, and the Holy of Holies altar stone, they ask a donation of £5. And I remember when I first came here 13 years ago, when I scanned the altar, it was £1. And even then, the vicar, the Reverend Martin Gorick at the time, he said, I feel so embarrassed to even asking £1 for people to come into
a church.
Church, yeah. And now it's £5. Well, anyway, if you fork out your £5, you can go into the chancel and you can see the gravestone. On the wall you can see the monument, and in the back you see the Holy of Holies altar stone. And the entire code, the entire subterfuge is contained in those 3 places, which you can learn about. It's a long story, but you can learn about if you go to my website, which is tobeornottobe.org. So I'm sitting there on the second day, and I don't know. I'd been meditating, praying about an hour and a half, something like that. It's not. I go pretty deep in terms of. I know it looks a bit strange because when I come out of a deep prayer like that, I'm just. Whoa. But that's because of I suppose, having meditated for 45 years, the techniques that are available in meditation take you very, very deep. You really can feel the presence of God. Yeah. You really can be attuned, and once you are there, you can then direct that energy to say, I want Shakespeare's wish to come true. I want this altar to be opened for the world to see this amazing a message that this man left for us. So anyway, I'm sitting there meditating and praying, and I just come out like this. I'm ready to sort of move. And there's a woman standing in front of me. She goes, Alan, is that you? How long she's been standing there? I don't know. I mean, we talked later. She said she'd been standing there about half an hour. She recognized me, just like you did.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's you. Alan, is that you? I thought I'd ascended. I thought this was an angel. And I was going, oh, take me now.
You've finally gone.
Didn't expect to go home this soon. This is great. I didn't recognize her, but she recognized me. She had been at a performance I had given 5 or 6 years ago with Nassim Haramein.
Oh, right.
In somewhere up in Northern California.
In America,
yeah.
Obviously.
And she said, I was there at your thing with Nassim Haramein. Wow, what are you doing here? She said, I don't know, we just came here.
Really?
And she's standing right in front of me, and I went, oh my, really? I mean, again, it's like our story, right?
Yes.
This was the second day here.
Mm.
You know, what? So, I perhaps shouldn't say their real names online. I don't know if they want the publicity, but let's call them, you know, Mary and John. So Mary goes, this is my husband, John. We're traveling across Europe. We were in London this morning. We're driving up to Liverpool. We just decided to stop off here. I said, did you know it was Shakespeare's birthday? No. Did you know I was here? No. So that happened.
Well, yeah, again.
So we went out to lunch, talked about miracles. I mean, come on, right? So that's like the second day. Ready for another one?
Oh, yes, go on.
Next day. This wasn't during the prayer and meditation. I'd done a couple of hours, I think, that day. I had a lot of other business to take care of. And I was coming out of the evening prayers at 5 o'clock. The service for the whole public,
yes.
Right? I could have had, there's 2 exits. I could have walked out that exit or that exit. But I just thought about that exit and said, no, go out that one. So I got out that one. Besides that, I hadn't even intended to be there for that public prayer, but I just happened to be there because of circumstances. So I walk out, and this guy is standing outside the main door, and he says, Tommy Armour? Now, you remember me telling you about I was on a record label that changed my name every couple of months with their meetings.
Yes.
Right? Called them image meetings. My name's Alan Green. No, it's Tommy Blue. And you always wear blue. Like, okay. 2 months later, they could call me down again. No, it's Tommy Rainbow. I'm serious. Come on. What? Rainbow. Mad Jack. They changed my name a bunch of times. And finally, I got so fed up with it, I said, I showed up at the image meeting when the album was finally recorded and ready for distribution. It's my first album. It never came out. And I showed up in a suit of armor.
Yes, I remember the story, yes.
And I walked into their meeting, all the suits around a big oak table, and I've got a mace, and I've got a visor, and I've got a shield, and I've got total chainmail armor on, rented from Pine
Very
Road
unlike
Studios.
you.
I know, I don't know where I got it from. It's so weird. It's just one of those days you wake up and think, I'll go rent some armor. And of course, the purpose was, I said, it's me, Tommy Armour. And guess what? I always wear armor, even on the radio. And they dropped me from the label. They said he doesn't take his image meeting seriously. Well, I've told this story on your show, and I've told it on One Divine Show. And this guy shows up and he says, Tommy Armour. And I went, and then I recognized him. His name's Cisco Chin, and we met in Egypt 3 or 4 years ago. on a tour of Egypt, and he's amazing. He does incredible graphics, and he from time to time he sends me T-shirts that he's designed of my I Surrender album cover mixed with the Shakespeare sonnets. He's very, very creative. And he's standing outside the church, and he goes, "Tommy Armour," and I went, "Cisco." He flew in from Kansas.
Did he know you were there?
Yeah.
But you could have gone out the other door.
I could have, and then he would have texted me anyway. But the point is, he wanted to surprise me, and he flew in from America, from Kansas, and stood there to wait for me. This is like the next day, and I'm there. And you think, oh my goodness, yeah, this is going to take off. People are going to get excited about this story. He'd heard me talk about it on maybe your show or maybe One Divine's. I don't know.
Well, I'm getting emails from all over the places and messages and everything else to pass on to you, because somebody wants to put a prayer group together, or somebody wants to come and see you, or
wonderful.
So it's just it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're going to have a queue,
grassroots,
outside the door soon.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing here.
Yes.
It's just on an iPhone. We just got together because it's not a majorly produced thing. I just wanted to say to you, this is what's happening already. So I've not got to the best one yet. The next 2 days later, this kills me to think about it. There's that morning prayers, and I say that's like 4 or 5 people. It's not out really open to the public. It's just the Reverend wants to start the day off with morning prayers. So I'm there. Halfway through the morning prayers, only half an hour long, a woman walks in. She goes, "Sorry, I'm late. I didn't know where the door was." A very northern Manchester accent. She goes, and the Reverend is in the middle of reading from Exodus chapter 33, and he goes, I love it because she had no qualms about, just creeping in. She goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm late." And he goes, "Yes, well, you're welcome. Please come and sit down." "Oh, okay then. All right. Carry on." And he carries on reading from Exodus. And at the end of the prayers, she says, "I just came by because I want to put a rose on Shakespeare's grave." She's got a red rose with her. So the Reverend says, "Okay, well, that's very nice." She said, "And I've got a poem I've written about William Shakespeare. Can I read it to everybody?" And he says, "No." No, we don't have time for that. Of course, they're live streaming the thing, and I know he's busy and he's got to do his thing, but he said no. And I saw the disappointment in her face. She goes, "Oh, it's only short. Can't I read it? I wrote it special for him." He still says no. She says no. Well, I'm very busy. We don't have time. So, but thank you though. But I can help you put the rose on Shakespeare's grave. So I said, and Cisco was with me now, the guy who flew over from Kansas. We're both at morning prayers, and I said to her, "We'd be delighted to hear it. What your poem is." "Oh, thank you." So she goes and puts the rose on Shakespeare's grave. She comes back into St. Peter's Chapel. And I said, "So let's tell us what this poem is." And she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you want to hear it." And she gets it out. And I said, "You know what? We should go and do it at the altar. Let's do it right by the grave and where the altar is." Okay. So we go into the chancel. And she's about to read it. And I can see the title of it on her page. It's "For Will." I've just written a song called "Say a Prayer for Will," and she's written a poem for Will.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Right? The synchronicity, the angelic thing that's going on, right?
Yes.
Like you and me meeting, like these people showing up.
Most definitely.
Like Cisco flying over. She read the poem. It's absolutely gorgeous. She is okay about me naming her name is Lisanne, Lisanne. She's funny. She's literally from the town where I was born, Bowden.
Really?
Yeah. And a whole new friend, right?
Wow.
And so she read the poem. So I, in reciprocation, we went outside, back of the church, sat on the bench by the River Avon, and I played her the song, Say a Prayer for Will. And we've got it on film. We're going to post it in a day or two, whatever, I don't know. So those three things happened. I mean, it's just bang, bang, bang. It's just, again, the angels saying, it's all coming together. People are going to respond to this. And she right there and then, God bless her, she said, oh, I want to support your foundation and buy your record. And she got £50 out. And I said, no, don't do it that way. It'll look wrong, like I'm taking your money. Oh, well, I don't have a credit card. And I don't know how to do the. She's in her late 70s.
Oh, really?
And she doesn't know how to do email.
Yeah.
So Cisco said, all right, well, I'll take the money on behalf of the foundation and I will put it on my credit card and you'll be credited for it. You are supporting the foundation. God bless her. I mean, she goes, oh, I want to support what you're doing. She could have been an angel. I don't know if she's an extraterrestrial or not. I mean, she just showed up. Sorry, I'm late.
Amazing, though. What a fantastic story.
And that's just my first week here. I'm here for another 9 weeks. Who knows what's going to happen? We are encouraging everyone to please, if you can, join me in prayer, no matter what you can do. There'll be a link on the foundation website, theshakespearefoundation.org, with my daughter's email where you can write to her, because she's organizing all the people who are praying online. Yes. And then we're going to have a thing saying, in the church, Alan has prayed whatever, so many hours to this point, but online, right? 1,000 hours, 10,000 hours. Who knows what it'll end up being? The power of prayer is invincible. It's infinitesimal. It's infinitesimal. That's a good word, isn't it?
It is, yes. Very good.
So, that's it. I just wanted to let everybody know. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the well wishings that I've got, where the people are writing in to support the foundation. It just touches my heart so deeply. Whatever you can give, it's not the amount, it's the heart behind it. But if you can give 10 grand, please do. It's all going towards encouraging the world to know the true story. So let me get to that and finish with it. The codes say very clearly, and this is on your show, so yes. Living page, yo stigmata, iafune desiderata, gag my vigil, apostatize a heavenward idea high. So you go back to Melanie's prior show to look at what that ultimately means. What he's saying is, I am a recusant Catholic. I had to hide my true faith because at the time, being a Catholic in Protestant reign of Elizabeth and James could get you burned at the stake or tortured at least. And so he's saying, I have to hide my true faith. I'm Catholic, but it's dangerous to be a Catholic. But I have put the truth of who I am and why there's a cover-up inside what? A Catholic altar stone. It's put it inside the Holy of Holies altar stone. So on the sites, on Melanie's show, on Foundation site, you can see pictures of the scan of the altar and see that, yeah, there's something in there. We should just open it up and see what is there. But literally, it takes the form of a prayer. And if I hadn't scanned the altar, I'd have no proof. As I said at the beginning, it would just be, well, Alan thinks it means that. But the scan actually proves it, because instead of having a tiny little hole, it's got this enormous cavity that's 250 times the size it's supposed to be. Therefore, the codes are authentic. It's as simple as that. And if they're authentic, that means that what it said is authentic. Yes. What it said is, I am praying that the world will open this altar stone and know the true story behind who I was and why there was a cover-up. And that's what I'm praying every day, is prayer. This is Shakespeare's Last Wish, and that's what the song says, Say a Prayer for Will. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for inviting me on to just talk about this.
Thank you. And like I said to everybody previously, this isn't the last time. There'll be quite a few times where Alan and I get together, and I'll be over in Stratford-upon-Avon with Alan, with
and with the guy behind the camera.
Yes, of course.
Our fabulously patient Dale. Turn the camera around, Dale. Let's have a look at you.
He won't do that.
Come on, come on. No, come on. I want to see you. No, he's very shy.
Yeah. So it won't be the last time, and then obviously there will be more videos, more podcasts with myself and Alan as he continues this on his journey. But for those people that have already contacted me via message and email, supporting Alan, wanting to come to Stratford to also support him as well, and also those that have said about setting prayer groups up, that is amazing, and I thank you. What I do ask you is that this video that you share and share and share it, because obviously the more that this goes out, the more that it gets shared, the more that people are going to see it, people are going to join in, that they're also going to purchase the song, which is beautiful. I've listened to it a few times. It's amazing. And obviously the charity that you've set up as well, all of the details will be listed underneath this video. Everything that you will need to contact what Alan's doing and to be able to support Alan as well. So I look forward to giving you the update again soon. And in the meantime, everybody join in, everybody send their energy, because already amazing things are happening and magic is really occurring here. And I thank you. All right, everybody, if you haven't already, subscribe, please like it, please share it, and I will see you soon with another update with Alan. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Melanie. Really, thanks.
Thank you.